Hey guys, this is Bhawna here from Surprista Design, and today we have a very special guest on our podcast series. So her name is Vidushi, and she is from art and craft industry, and she is going to share a deep knowledge about art and craft industry. So stay tuned and watch till the end. So without any delay, let's hear her journey. So ma'am, please introduce yourself.
Hey Bhavna, so I am Vidushi, as you introduced. I am a textile designer and I have worked for 14 years in craft sector. I have worked with grassroots artisans from their houses and with artisans working in factories, and I have had a very inside out of how the craft industry works.
Yeah. So as you have mentioned, ma'am, you have 14 years of experience of exploring art and craft industry. So how this turned out for you? How your life has changed after exploring this artisan's life, and what lessons you learned, and what do you want to share with the audience? So please let us know.
Life has really changed.
Yeah.
Since the time I got in touch with artisans. Like initially when I was pursuing my textile design, my idea of a future career was very different than what the journey I got onto. And this happened when the college had put a compulsion on all the students to go and work with craft clusters, and I was sent, it was demarcated by college. I was sent to work with one craftsman in Kerala.
Okay.
And he was a very old guy, and he used to create cane artifacts, cane furniture and artifacts. And I went to his workshop. There was some very old world kind of furniture that was kept, and a lot of raw material, lots and lots of raw material. And that was his warehouse, their workshop, his living room, his dining room, his bedroom, everything.
Yeah.
And even the water, sanitation things were not like this. The basics of human were not very kept well. And it seemed like he is just somebody from slums. That is the impression that I got as a student when I just went
First
there.
First impression was
and isko main kya karwaungi, kya design janega, and all of that. But when I started explaining my sketch to him, he was coming back to me with better insights.
Okay.
And after I think half an hour or 45 minutes of that discussion and me trying to put myself onto him, I had to give up, understanding that he is much experienced and he knows his craft very well, better than anybody else, and no one needs to teach him anything. So that's when I realized I'm not here to teach him.
So the common people are already trained in that way naturally.
Because he has, he might have not had any formal education, but he has been with those materials, with that craft all his life, or probably he has even seen his elder generations do it. So he knew more than any of us, any of the designers. So that's when I knew that designers are not there to teach craftsmen.
Right.
We need to learn from them. And whatever they are making, we need to make sure that is getting a market. It has to be sellable and it has to be sold. And a fair amount of money needs to go back to those artisans. So that is when I realized that our country is full of such treasures which need our attention. That is the best we can do as designers. Because before that I only needed a good well-paying job and all of that. But yes, this gave me a deeper meaning to my life. And that's when I decided that I will not be sitting for my college placements.
You will do something different from
I would do something. It might not be conventional, but something which will make me happy and make me want to create an impact. It's just like कि मैं चली गई या मुझे कुछ हो गया तो मेरे बाद क्या, तो at least मेरा वो एक impact रहेगा, मेरी वो brand, my personal brand or my work or the artisan's work will stay at least.
So any cultural differences you felt there from Rajasthan's art if we compare from South?
A lot, because yes, they speak, the language is different. Even though I studied in Chennai, like I was part of NIFT Chennai, so I could understand quite a lot of Malayalam, a bit of Tamil also. I knew more of Malayalam than Tamil because my roommate was a Malayali. But I could not, when you talk to local people, it is not just the language, it is their, the way they speak, the diction and everything. And when an uneducated person speaks, so it becomes even more difficult to understand when you are not an expert at that
and
language.
And they only speak in their local language.
Yeah, so through this entire journey, through those 10 days, my roommate was alongside me.
Yeah.
Not her sister was alongside me just to help us in those conversations. So yeah, it was very different, and it was quite a struggle actually.
And any specialized art you want to mention कि जो वहाँ का ही special है और यहाँ पे आपको available नहीं होगा?
See, our country is full of such resources.
Yeah.
Because जो भी crafts होते हैं, they are all like they're all developed based on the local needs and local resources.
Yeah.
So if I'm talking about this cane furniture uncle that I just mentioned, so cane furniture is being made in different parts of the country. South में बन रहा है, East में बन रहा है, आजकल राजस्थान में भी बनने लग रहा है. But the kind of bamboo, the grass they use is different, and since that material is different, the way it is being handled is also different.
Yeah.
Like if I talk about our Rajasthani prints, Sanganeri prints, Sanganeri printing, and then you compare it with printing of Gujarat or from MP's Bagh printing, they might, like especially Sanganeri in Bagh printing might appear very same to any commoner, but all the raw materials that are being used and even the process to an extent is different depending upon their local, local demography and geography.
Right. Coming to the artisan's life, what difficulties they faces and how that impacted your life, that you wanted to took such initiative, you wanted to take such initiative and do something for them?
See, as I just mentioned, one experience of working in a Kerala craftsman. Similarly, I experienced with craftsmen in Jaipur.
Yeah.
And the place that they stay, their houses, and they are most of the time their workshop only.
Yeah.
Because if they are not employed with any factory, as I say, so that is their workplace, that is their home, their residence, and if I have to work with them, I used to go and sit with them in their houses for hours or maybe full day, and each and every day I would spend major portion of my time there, and that time was not easy because sitting in that sort of situation, that sort of place, sometimes it must be stinking so much. I would just sit with my nose closed, the entire day, and then I felt that I am staying like that, but these people and the tiny little kids, they are walking barefoot on that sort of a ground, which is full of trash because उनके घर के बगल में dump yard हुआ करते थे. One of the artisans who was from Jaipur, घर के उनके it was sort of a colony, and just at the beginning of the colony is a huge dump yard, and the kids are going and playing in there. That really, and when I'm trying to tell them कि भैया आप अपने बच्चों को बचाओ, आप उनके लिए ऐसे करो, उनके लिए ये करो, तो they would understand something but not everything.
But it's an irony that they create such beautiful, wonderful art, crafts and pieces, still though they don't really get paid well. So in that direction, what is your brand gonna do in future?
See, as they are not getting paid, many of them are not even carrying it on. Many people are looking for alternate sources of livelihood, which is the major cause that Kalai Studio is working at. We are working, like, since I have really explored thoroughly different sorts of craftsmen, different sort of artisan forms. So we are getting in touch with those people who have the craft but they have lost their trust. And are now looking for other sources of livelihood. So we are trying to convince them, pull them back, because if you don't practice it, nobody else is going to take it up, not your children and nobody else, and the craft will ultimately die away. So we are incentivizing them to come back and do this at a better wage than anybody. Like what wage we are offering currently is almost double of the industry standards, market standards. Plus we are giving them further incentives of working with us, so that if they have this assurance that whatever work I'm doing, the energy I'm spending on is ultimately I'm taking something back home for my family, for my kids. If that sort of relationship building is done, then definitely they will not do anything else and practice what they are best at.
And if we talk about women as artisan and women as consumer, so what are the differences and how women's role has played a vital role in this industry? How would you like to explain that? कि वुमेन्स कहाँ तक इसमें रोल कर रही हैं और अभी क्या क्या उनके लिए चीज़ें चेंज हो गई और इंडस्ट्री कैसे उनको ट्रीट कर रहे हैं?
See, women are everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? And let's first talk about the back end, like women in the industry, then we will go to women in the consumer part. So women in the industry, if we talk about the traditional times, women were not, they did not have the liberty of stepping out. Right. So talking about artisan community, they were staying at home, and their men in the family would do, they would do the procurement, they would do the, trading, they would do all the labor intensive work of washing and all of that, and women would sit back home, they would do printing, they would do embroideries, stitching and all these soft works. So they were not being paid anything here again, because whatever money was coming, it was going to the man's pocket. It is on the family how they manage their finances.
By the society.
How they manage the finances. But women knew that I am doing something, something creative. It might be her own style or somebody else's style, but she is involved in something creative. Right. Like me as a designer, if I go and if I give a paper of design ki uncle ye banana hai, auntie ye banana hai. So yes, she is doing that, putting her brain, her soul into it, and also, when you, as a human, when you are involved in such creative process, and if your thoughts differ from what's on paper, you always want to articulate it. So with Kalai Studio, the women have that, or not just women, but all craftsmen have that sort of liberty to give us their suggestion. If not in that particular piece, because that depends on what sort of order it is, what sort of client it is for, but we will definitely incorporate it somewhere or the other, because they are coming with a richer experience than any of us. And how this scenario has changed over this time period. And yes, sorry, let me tell you about women who are not at the crafts level, but a part of the industry as designers. So in the industry, mostly women are given the creative roles, mostly in the design part and less in the merchandising or in the sales or finances part. That was a scenario a few years ago, but now it is changing.
There is a stereotypical image of women out there.
Yes, but now this is changing. More women are taking up merchandising roles, more women are going into finances, and yes, creativity, more men are coming into creative departments. So that is there. But talking about craftsmen, if the craft isn't, if that one craftsman is not practicing this craft, his entire family is leaving that livelihood. Because when a craftsman is working, whether it be weaving or printing, you give him one job order, and it is not just that one person who is doing it, it is this entire family who is involved into doing it. And now if he is leaving this this craft and going to some other source of livelihood, those other people are becoming unemployed. They are just becoming unemployed. And I had a recent conversation with one of my craftsmen who is not currently working for us, because he is yet not convinced. He has become a compounder in some hospital, even though he has no medical degree, no such qualification. Yet he is serving as a compounder, or maybe you could say he's being treated as a peon there. And his wife is sitting back home taking care of the kids, and I mean not the kids but grandkids, and their son, they are also into some jobs like that, working at a pharmacy shop and something like that. And when I spoke to that auntie, now uncle is not doing this, अब वो ये काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो अब तो आप बहुत फ्री हो गए, पोते पोतियों के साथ enjoy कर रहे होगे, खेल रहे होगे. And she had very sad stone eyes. And she was like कि पोते पोतियों के साथ तो खेलना सबको पसंद है, लेकिन अपने लिए मैं क्या कर रही हूँ. अंकल ने तो वो शायद खुश हैं वो जो भी कर रहे हैं, पर मैं तो अपने लिए कुछ नहीं कर रही. Because whatever she was doing, whether she was personally earning or not, but she was at least expressing herself out.
But एक content feel कर रही है.
She was expressing herself out, and she was feeling happy that she is contributing to the family's source of income. But now she's like कि मैं अपने लिए तो कुछ भी नहीं कर रही हूँ. And she had very stone eyes and very sad expressions. So I was like, don't worry, uncle will probably come to us someday or the other, and even if he is not coming, I will get you involved. I will convince uncle to do this. घर पे काम मैं लाके दूँगी आपको. और आप काम करोगे and बहुत जल्द करोगे. So that is about the creator's side. Now from shopper's side, yes, women
do shop a lot.
As they say, women shop a lot. They just love shopping, but women know value for money.
They also know.
They love bargaining. And many women do not even understand. Like we are creating organic cotton. We are creating organic cotton products which are handcrafted. So these are something very dear on the money part as well. So not many women. I should not say women, but not many people understand that. But yes, women, as they really need to bargain.
They love to bargain.
They're not satisfied until they bargain. Right. No matter how good a deal is already being offered to them, they still need an additional bargain.
Right.
So that is how women are. But men, comparatively, they always seek luxury. So when they see कि हाँ product अच्छा है, हाथ लगाती feel बहुत अच्छी आ रही है, and it is handmade. And if they connect with those values, they will not want to hear anything कि आप कुछ कम करेंगे or what can be if there is any discount, they just want to buy it.
Because people from those age are coming from this cultural background, so they value such products really well.
Right. Right, because they have seen their grandparents doing or using such things, so they know, and they have seen such things going out of market. Like I remember so many things from my childhood which my grandfather used to use, and whenever I used to go sleep with him in the night, so that feel of that material was very different. And that just went out of the market without even we realizing. Right.
So any interesting incident you would like to share with us from consumers' point of side?
That really changed the perspective. As I said, women just love bargaining, and they may or may not understand the value of it. So I had one very interesting experience. This was in March. This year March we were exhibiting, and she happened to visit with her family. This was she was based somewhere, I don't know where she was from. So she just came, and her daughter liked a small piece of handkerchief that we had. Like we do dining sets, so it was a napkin set. She really liked it. That girl was tiny little girl of 6th or 7th class, but I don't know what pulled her towards it, but she really liked it and she wanted it. So obviously, just as any child, she was asking her mother to please buy it for her, but she said she asked me the price, and when I told her कि ma'am one handkerchief is for 100 rupees and the set is for so much, she's like are you crazy? 100 rupees का एक hanky लेके क्या करेगी बेटा? And she's इसका कपड़ा देखा है? What is this? क्या है ये? कुछ भी नहीं. And she's just shouting at the girl, and she's going away, and the girl is becoming very sad. She just became sad. She was sobbing, and her father, because he could not see her daughter cry, he is coming back to me like it's okay, it's only 100 rupees, whether the thing is worth it or not, I want it. And they bought it on that note, just because my child is stubborn and we don't want to hurt our child, we are buying this. It was not a very happy purchase. So they took it and went away, and 2 days later I receive a message from her with that picture of that handkerchief placed on the table, and she's like I am really sorry for my behavior that day.
So she felt embarrassed that time.
She's like now when we use it and we see it in our space visually and sensually, we know this material is not just something which we normally see, and now we know its worth. Had we knew it earlier, we could have paid you more than 100 also. This is something worth a lot. And I'm really thankful to my daughter that she was so stubborn and I could discover this brand, and she ended up buying a lot also. Later she placed orders, and from March up till now, it's been a lot of months, yet She messages or calls me every now and then just to say a hi, just to tell me that that she was just using that today and she thought of me.
Right.
And that just gives you a good feeling. I mean, every customer, every person cannot buy from us, but if you look at what our craftsmen are making, and if you just go and talk about it to others, 10 others in your circle, I think that also is an achievement for our artisans who are just waiting for their recognition.
Yeah, it's a big thing for your brand.
Yes.
Yeah. So, furthermore, how would you like to picture your brand in future, and how's marketplaces are treating your brand now?
See, what we want is, we don't want, this is not my brand or your brand. We want the brand to be, artisans brand. That's
really good thought.
That is what we want the brand image should be. That if you want something artisanal, something authentic, Kala is the place to go to. This is something which is coming from artisans, and it will go back to artisans. And as the brand grows, we also want to see our craftsmen growing in their social and economic status. So that is what the whole purpose is, that the entire community which is involved in this business gets to grow. It's not just that our balance sheet should reflect our business's growth. It should be the entire community's growth which should go together. So that is what our vision for this Kala is.
Okay, and how's marketplaces are treating your brand?
I would say for marketplaces, any business is a business.
But there's a different section for handmade products.
Yeah, there are.
Do you get any special benefits there or something?
Not really. Okay. Not really. Because see, we are registered as a brand. I am an educated person. Right? I am specialized in a certain way. I can go directly deal with those marketplaces and try to sort any issue that might come. And even we also have a team to deal with customer queries and to resolve customer doubts also. Like many customers, one of the customers which happened, she bought a set of dining set and then she wanted to return it after receiving, and when we spoke to her, she told us that she wants to give it back because this entire design, she said, does not seem very evenly done. I was like, ma'am, this is handmade. And when you are printing with hand, no two flowers will be same. There will be some slight displacement. Not with every block, but every fifth or sixth block will show that slight displacement because this is handmade, and this is how you identify handmade from machine made. If you look at machine made, you will see similar flat look all throughout. And this is the beauty of handmade. But she was not convinced, so she wanted to return, so we were okay with that. But we can at least have those sort of conversations. If the marketplaces had, as they claim, to be supporting artisans and handmade, had they been really doing a very fair job. So those artisans who are not educated, who do not have that sort of support system to take care of 10 different things, be it legal, be it consumer queries, be it those compliances that a marketplace wants, or the government also has many compliance imposed. So one small little artisan who is not educated, who is trying very hard to make bread and butter, not even butter, basic bread for his family. He can really not do all of that. So I would not say they're doing a very great thing, but yes, some artisans who might be educated, who might have a support system, like the entire family wants to take it ahead. So it might be working with them, but not every artisan, I would say, is being benefited. And when we as a company struggle when dealing with those marketplace compliances many a times, it is not really a